What's going on, guys? This is Rob from Heroes Avenue coming out of New York Comic Con. We got the extended version of the Aquaman trailer, and I gotta say, this is a, what is it, like a 5-minute trailer, and they gave us a lot. But a lot of people will say, including my boy Darren, who also does videos on this channel, he thinks that they gave away a little too much, and that is a fair point. This is a 5-minute trailer. It's a beast of a trailer. I gotta say, a lot of people don't know about Aquaman. They don't know who his nemesis are. They don't know who his allies are. They don't know much about what his powers are outside of talking to fish, as they joked around and played with Justice League. So the extent of what most people know about Aquaman is that he can talk to fish, and that he's this cheesy superhero that's not really taken seriously. At least that was the perception until Zack Snyder casted Jason Momoa and his kind of reinventing Aquaman's style. And we're going to get another sort of reinvention with James Wan taking over the reins for this Aquaman movie. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring after watching this trailer. So right off the bat, what we're going to see here is more of Nicole Kidman, some backstory regarding her father at the lighthouse, and it's going to really set up the stage for Aquaman and his motivations later on. And I got to say, these scenes look really beautiful. I'm excited to see Nicole Kidman back in a blockbuster movie, and I anticipate most of her scenes are going to be flashback scenes, but we will see. We'll talk a little bit more about her later. You get Aquaman zooming towards this submarine, in which he is probably going to kill Black Manta's father in an altercation, and thus create an enemy for life in Black Manta. And we are going to get some awesome Black Manta scenes later on. I do love this Themyscira-like shot of the WB logo and the DC logo, and just notice how bright and colorful everything is right off the bat. You could tell they're definitely going with a different direction in this movie. Okay, now we get a scene with them walking along in the desert. And this is kind of reminiscent of a few comic book pages in the New 52 where Aquaman finds himself in the desert. And I think a lot of this movie is going to be a mishmash of a lot of different storylines. The Trench storyline, the Throne of Atlantis most predominantly, though. So you get to see them, and the coolest part about the scenes, it feels like an Indiana Jones adventure scene, and I think a lot of people are probably going to mention that because that's actually what it feels like. So you see them place this Atlantean artifact in this socket, and it doesn't work. The coolest part is you get to see Mera. It's kind of like a cool introduction to Mera for most people. Most people don't know what Mera is, what her powers are, especially if you haven't seen Justice League, or they might have been just a little confused about seeing her in Justice League, because we didn't get a real proper introduction. Here we're going to get a real proper introduction, and just this trailer does a great job, because you see this trailer and you see her kind of controlling water from sweat off of Aquaman's brow. Looks pretty awesome. I can't wait to see what she can do when she's in the ocean and facing off against enemies. But yeah, really cool. I'll right off the bat, I watched this with my girlfriend, and the whole trailer, she was really off-put by Mera's hair. A lot of people, I've actually heard a lot of women talk about how they don't like how bright her hair is and fake it looks. But to me, Mera looks incredible here. So she puts water into the artifact, and of course, with the new version of Aquaman that we get Jason Momoa cracking a super funny joke. It actually, when I first watched it, I was kind of off-put by it, but watching it 10 more times since then, I actually like the joke. I think it's really funny. It's obviously, this movie is going to have a lot of humor in it. James Wan wanted to put a lot of Jason Momoa's own personality within this character, so I think that comes off really well when he says you don't need to do that with my using my sweat. You should quit showing off. I could have just peed on it. I think it's pretty funny now. Some people might be off-put by it. You guys let me know in the comments what you thought of that. So we get Mera a little grossed out, and then we get this projection of King Atlan. We do get a similar type projection in the comics, so it's a good nod to the comics. But we get King Atlan talking about the power of his trident. And if you guys didn't know, King Atlan in the comics actually is the one who sunk Atlantis himself. So there's a lot of shady things that have gone down in the background, especially of things that King Atlan has done. And I think that could be explored in a future Aquaman movie. I think it would be really good to expand the universe even more. But I'm thinking in this movie they're going to keep the scope really and story pretty simple in comparison to other DC movies. So so yeah, we get King Atlan here talking about his trident. Of course, a lot of the speculation going into this movie was that the trident would be, and because we've got descriptions of the movie as well, the trident is going to be one of the key things that are going to keep this movie moving forward. Is one of the objectives for Mera and Arthur to come get. Next up, we get to see more of Atlantis. Some really cool shots here, things we've seen before, things we haven't seen before, and before we've only gotten images of King Atlan kind of controlling the sea creatures right here, and we get to see it, even if it's just like a split second of him controlling these whales, making the waves pop up. Really incredible imagery. I hope we get a lot more of it in the movie. Something tells me that we're seeing all of it right here, as far as kind of what King Atlan has done. But we'll see. We get new shots of Arthur on the boat with the diving into what looks like the trench, obviously, because we get the trench creatures there. We get a little bit of Orm, and then you see this scene right here, which is definitely new. Like I said, you see this white light envelop this what looks to be a technological city. It's probably Atlantis, and it's probably King Atlan sinking Atlantis. So that's what this looks like to me. You get, oh, there's more of that. King Atlan talking to his people. You see Mera breaking the artifact, and then you get a little bit more of a dopey Aquaman, you know, not remembering exactly what he heard. So again, right off the bat, you're going to notice that this, if you're a comic book reader, this is a totally different Aquaman than you're used to seeing in the comics. And I think I'm okay with it right now. We'll see what they do. I'm still really hyped for what they're bringing here. I'm not trying to judge it before I actually see it, but it is a different Aquaman. If you guys were a fan of the serious, regal Aquaman, this is going to be totally different, and I think you already know that. I'm really excited for what Mera is going to bring. Mera is one of the things I'm most excited for in this in this movie, and I can't wait to see what she has going for her. Okay, we got more. We got sea lions. Sea lions versus sharks. Okay, this is cool. This is going to be a cool confrontation. We get a little bit of Mera's dad in here. Just one shot of Dolph Lundgren as King Nereus, I think was his name. I don't think he's going to have a huge part, but there definitely has been conversations between his people and the Atlanteans. So we'll see the seven seas hopefully uniting in this movie. Okay, we get more scenes of Aquaman riding down this wave, and a new shot of what looks like Black Manta's little henchmen guys, obviously using Atlantean tech. And I'm wondering if they're actual Atlanteans. They probably are, because their helmets look like they're carrying water inside of it. Just like in the comics, these are Atlanteans. This is what they wear when they jump onto the land. And then this scene, the coolest part about this whole trailer to me was the scene with Black Manta. And guys, if you haven't already seen it, I have a making of a Black Manta costume video out right now, so check that out. I'll have the rest of the costume being made soon, but check it out. Boom, you get Black Manta jumping out the water along with his henchmen. That looks pretty cool. I'm excited. Some people, you know, when I first watched it, I was like, this looks kind of weird, but it's really growing on me. I'm excited to see Black Manta versus Aquaman, and I'm glad they don't have him talking or anything yet. Keep it mysterious for us, a little mysterious, since you're about to reveal a lot to us. So he shoots down Aquaman, super awesome. You get to see his blades come out, and then the coolest part about this is this Mera chasing. I'm so excited about Mera. This Mera chasing with the other against the other henchmen that Black Manta has here. James Wan famously has done the, you know, in the Conjuring movies, he has that one continuous long take, and that's what he has in here with this continuous long take of Mera running on the rooftops with the Atlanteans chasing him. Really incredible camera work. That's not to be understated, because if you look at that scene right there, I hope this is not the whole scene, but this is really incredible and difficult camera work that is going on right now, and it's all in one scene. How she's jumping across the buildings, and it zooms out, and you see a whole other different scene with Aquaman versus Black Manta. Really incredible. And I thought the coolest part was when Mera gets blasted and she's flipping into this house right here. Mera is going to be such a badass. She needs to go find water quick, because once she does, she's about to take these guys out if she's as powerful as she is in the comics. So, okay, we get more of the duel between Arthur and Orm, and we get more of the underwater fighting. We get this scene here where they're being tracked down by more of the henchmen. Okay, here we got Nicole Kidman, and if you pause, it looks like you could see Arthur's father in there. So obviously you get these guards in white who are probably her own men, and there's probably some shady things going on right now, because her own men are probably coming to kill Arthur because he is an illegitimate child. That is probably what's going on, and she is protecting him with the quindent. Remember, she has one with 5 prongs versus the 3 versus the trident. So she's protecting him. She's a badass. This is pretty awesome. This is probably when she decides she has to leave and go back and handle some business in Atlantis. And she leaves Arthur with his father alone in that lighthouse. Get another scene of Arthur. Oh, you get some of the trench creatures, and Arthur looks to be diving down deep into the trench, probably to if spoilers, if you haven't read the comics, he is probably going to have to communicate with them and use them to defeat Orm. He's probably going to have to get all of them onto his side, communicating with them but with the trident, because he wouldn't be able to do it without the trident. So he's probably going to be having to get all the trench creatures on his side. Another shot of Atlantis and the whole White Throne Room. This is probably a flashback when Arthur's mom is still alive. You get another shot. Other new shots here, but and we get the war that's about to ensue. The biggest part of the trailer, though, has to be the reveal of, bam, the orange and green classic Aquaman outfit. A lot of people will still poke fun of it, but given the tone of this movie and the awesome music that the trailer is already showing us, take that into consideration when watching this. This looks so badass. I think James Wan does a perfect job of changing the perception of Aquaman to this joke of a character into this total badass. Now, when I say joke of a character, I mean that's the perception a lot of people have. A lot of people will look at this and say that's Mermaid Man from SpongeBob SquarePants. But if you actually watch the trailer and give it a chance, and if you read the comics, you know Aquaman is one of the most badass characters. So this totally looks the part. Super comic accurate. I do like Aquaman's quindent, to be honest, a little bit more than this trident, but we're gonna see if he has that still at the end of the movie. There it is, guys. December 21st, the breakdown of this Aquaman trailer. I think it looks really incredible. Let me know what you guys think about this movie below. Did this trailer make you more hyped, or did it get you a little bit more hesitant for this movie? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a like, please, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.